go.
Welcome back to Shenanigans, episode 42. Jordan is back. This is not a solo episode. 42, that's the meaning of the universe. If you know, you know. That's a very old fucking meme. From like 2012 or some shit. I don't even know.
But it wasn't a meme though. Like, I mean, it was kind of a meme, but like, wasn't it like a genuine
but I know
thing?
what you mean. It's like, it was like, I think it's, is it from that game, the fucking Impossible Quiz? And it's like, question 42 is like, what's the meaning of life?
No.
And then you click the question number.
I don't remember. I don't know exactly, but I know it's from a book called like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know what you're talking
I
about.
never looked into it, but I know that that's where I heard it always came from when I was a kid and everything. And I know the whole 42 thing, but yeah, I don't get it.
I don't really get it either because I never delved into it. But all I know is that that's the meaning of the universe is 42.
I
Speaking
guess
of
that's
which,
one.
some people wish there were 42 weeks in the NFL. I do not, because I would think they'd die before that. Speaking of NFL, you can get into the games. I didn't watch but one lone game this week, but it was a good fucking game that I watched, I will say that.
Which one?
The Commanders and the Steelers.
That was a good game. You saw the ending?
I didn't see. I saw most of the thing. I saw most of it. I did see
the end sequence was weird. I guess I'll just talk about that one. It was like the end sequence was like the Steelers had scored and they had the lead, and the Commanders had like a 4th and 10 or something like that, 4th and 8 or maybe. But he threw it to Zach Ertz and he caught it at the line, but then went backwards kind of and then got tackled. So they reviewed it for like 5 minutes, and it was They gave it back to the Steelers, and then the Steelers went 3 and out, but they went on the 4th down. It was like 4th and 10 in the middle of the field. There's pretty much no way they were going to go for it, but Johnny Newton jumped off sides and gave them a fresh set to just kneel it out. What else happened in this game? I mean, Russell Wilson threw a couple picks, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, with that win, I'm pretty sure Washington goes to second in the NFC East, and I think Philly took first. They
play Thursday, so we'll see.
We'll see if that lasts.
I think the Commanders can win that game. The Eagles kind of survive off of their talent, I think, because their coaching's not. Their defense is good. I think that's also got to do with talent, though. Like they're they still get fucking blown up sometimes. But Russell Wilson threw a pick in this one where George Pickens was getting covered by Mike Sanders still. And I don't know if you saw the clip or not, probably. But he you know how he likes to just do stupid shit when the interception gets thrown. He kind of just like threw himself into Sanders still and then like headlocked him. It was weird. He always wins those though. Sanders still was on the ground.
Yeah, but Sanders still had the ball.
I don't think Sanders still got the pick. I think it was just part of a blocking thing.
I know. I was just saying his side of the fucking play got the ball.
Well, George Pickens, he's got to go viral every week for something. Like when he fucking pulled that guy's face mask versus you. I don't know.
Dude, I remember when he fucking like pushed our receiver down, and that was such a big thing, like in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I think that was part of his highlights coming into it. I don't remember much else special about this game. I mean, it was a good game. I think there was like some sort of weird turnover.
Back and forth, close fucking game.
Yeah, I like Calvin Austin on the Steelers. I don't know where's he from. I'm sure you know.
Calvin Austin.
Yeah.
Let me see. Actually, I feel like I'm supposed to know.
I don't know. He's
from Memphis.
Okay. Yeah, I like him. He's fast and he's like
Memphis has some good guys come out of their school.
Calvin Austin and Cedric Tillman on the Browns have been 2 random receivers I've liked this year in that division. Speaking of that division, Bengals Ravens was a Thursday night game, but I didn't watch the second half. Usually I don't watch the second half of the primetime games because I'm in bed. But I watched up to the point where they were 21-7 going into the third quarter, and because they scored right at the beginning of the third quarter. So like right away after half, it was 21-7, and then they just blew that shit. I don't know how exactly they blew it there. Who Lamar was throwing touchdowns to or not, but they fucked up a
Is this their second matchup in the season? Did the Ravens beat them twice?
Yeah, Ravens swept. This came down to a 2-point conversion at the end of the game that
I was gonna
Burrow.
ask that because I saw it was 1 point, and I was wondering if someone missed a field goal or if someone went for one.
Well, I was going to talk about this. This is another thing. It didn't wind up messing with the end of the score really, but what's his face? Justin Tucker missed an extra point in this. I'm pretty certain. Where is?
I seen a post that was like Justin Tucker's washed or some shit.
Yeah, I said that because I'm like, he's been missing field goals that he shouldn't be this year. Like, it's on red zone pretty much every time he misses because it's a high, or anyone misses. But it's always a highlight when it's Justin Tucker, and he's just been missing them this year.
He should have like 10 more years as a kicker left, man. What's happening? I hope this is just an off year.
Let me see. Like, he's missed fucking like 4 field goals this year, and he's missed. I think he's missed 2 extra points. Yeah, he missed an extra point last game. So when he missed the extra point, I was like, "Uh-oh, this is concerning." Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird because Justin Tucker just fell automatic. Even last year, he was pretty good, and it just fell off this year. Something had to fall off for the Ravens, and I mean, it was him, I guess.
Dude, I was thinking Tucker would be one of those dudes like Vinatieri who lasts till their fucking like mid-40s, but he's like 34. But to be fair, it is only 1 year. He could be dealing with some kind of groin or like leg injury that we don't know about. Because 1 year, the Cowboys used to have one of the most accurate kickers ever. Like his name was Dan Bailey, and Dan Bailey, fucking tore his groin, and I don't think no one knew about it for a little bit, and everyone was just like, "Why the fuck? He's one of the most accurate kickers. Why the fuck he suck? Why he keep missing?" And then it comes out he had like a groin tear, and he was playing through it. And then he played through it so much, like, it fucked up his entire career. So I hope Tucker's not going through something similar and fucking up his entire career, because kickers can last a long time. He could last 10 more years if he wanted to. So, hoping that's not the case. Hoping this is just a little bit of an off year.
Confidence affects kickers a lot, too, it seems like. But I don't want to trail too far off right now, but I am pretty sure I just heard my girlfriend watch Gohan go Super Saiyan 2 in the other room. It's just, yeah.
That's a legendary, iconic moment. Even though I think Cell should have fucking been beat before that.
I think it shouldn't have been over Android 16. I mean, besides the newest movie, he's seen Piccolo get his ass beat every fucking series.
If it's such an emotional, rage-based transformation, why Android 16? Like,
yeah,
why not? Why wouldn't it be when? Why not have Cell explode, Goku die because of that, then fucking come back, and then Gohan's sadness turns to like anger and rage, then he turns Super Saiyan 2.
I mean, that would be an interesting ending. It wouldn't have much purpose for battle, but the only thing more annoying than the Android 16 thing would be Joe Burrow's reaction to his 4-touchdown, 420-yard performance in this game, and Jamar Chase with his fucking, where the hell is it? 264
Jesus
yards,
Christ,
11 receptions.
What the fuck? Did he only throw to Jamar Chase?
Did you? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Jamar just... I don't know. The Ravens secondary is also questionable for them this year, but like he had 55 fantasy points. So I hope you didn't play him.
Dude, I haven't paid attention to fantasy in the last 2 weeks because all my teams are like 500, and I just don't give a fuck anymore.
That is also what's happening to me. Derrick Henry had, I think, his worst game of the season for his standards, 68 yards and a touchdown. I don't think he did anything receiving. No, he didn't. What else happened in this game? Oh, yeah. The guy who beat us last year in the in the Ravens game with the kickoff return in overtime, he had a huge receiving game as well for them. He had an 84-yard long touchdown where he just kind of like rode the sideline and dodged like 4 people, if I remember right. And then the rest of the game he had like 2 more catches, but he had 115 yards. So good game for that guy.
Tylan Wallace.
Yep. And last thing I'll say is I like Chase Brown now for the Bengals. I will say that I've come across for him, even though he's not the best, but I like him.
I like him too. He's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, and another running back that's been doing pretty good. I think Chase Brown's a rookie. No, he's a second-year player, but a rookie running back who's been doing well is Tyrone Tracy on the Giants. They had a 9:30 a.m. Germany game. And it was very bad for the Giants. Like they played like shit. Obviously, it's Daniel Jones, but against the Panthers defense is something. It's really weird. Like they have one of the worst defenses in the league. You couldn't do shit, Daniel.
Well, it's Daniel Jones. He just sucks.
Yeah. Tyrone Tracy had 18 carries for 103 yards and a touchdown. And he's, spoiler alert, he's the guy who ended up fucking it up for them because they went to overtime and the Giants got it first. And on the first play of the overtime, he fumbles it and the Panthers get a field goal to win.
I actually like Tyrone Tracy. I'm not going to lie. I do like him.
He's dope. And for the Panthers, Chuba Hubbard had a career day, 28 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown. And Bryce Young had a good game. He's just doing his thing, like a 15 completions for 25, so 25. It's not that bad for 126 yards. It's a game manager, but he didn't throw an interception or have a turnover. I don't think he had a turnover. I think Chuba Hubbard fumbled it actually, but Bryce is just learning.
What the fuck are the Bears?
They just fired their offensive coordinator.
Okay, well, that's good news for them, because it seemed like they started off like 0-2, then it was like 4-2, and it was like, ooh, yeah, nice little 4-game win streak there, and they just go on like a fucking 4-game losing streak immediately after, and I'm like, what?
That's because they played the worst defenses. They played the worst defenses early, and then now they've played the Patriots defense after Gerard Mayo called them soft.
Well, hey, if there's one takeaway, it looks like the Bears' defense is consistent.
If there's a takeaway, it's that Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, all these guys are better than Caleb Williams so far. I'll even throw J.J. McCarthy in there.
Yeah!
He's not even done anything, but...
J.J. McCarthy would be the best rookie quarterback if he was in right now. Look at the Minnesota Vikings and what they're doing. Actually, I'm not going to say that. Jaden Daniels is a fucking menace, but... I'm gonna say he'd be number 2 at the very least, considering his surrounding cast.
Off raw talent, I'll give it to Drake May. Honestly, like he's physically, he's been good, and this is his first win as a starter. I'm pretty sure. Nothing is good around him. He's the best thing on their team, and for Caleb Williams, he is holding back the rest of his team.
I don't think
mostly due to his O-line.
So. I was about to say, I think the O-line's holding back that whole team.
But there's been rumors floating around on Instagram that veterans in the locker room want him benched for Tyler Bagent. So maybe it's an attitude thing, or maybe it's because of his performance. But I'm not shocked. I told you guys.
It's an attitude thing. The whole fucking change from Justin to Caleb Williams was kind of like spontaneous out of nowhere. Like DJ Moore, I don't think expected it. That's why he's kind of mad. Like.
Yeah, he said he wanted Justin.
I do understand, like, he's the rookie, and I can understand veterans getting mad that he keeps getting the start and all this, but I think there's more deeper fucking issues with the team than just Caleb Williams, and that's...
It's the coaching,
It is the coaching. It's the Bears' fucking big fault is their coaching on offense, and fucking their head coach also, Matt Eberflus, isn't really the fucking greatest.
No, that was my concern coming into the year, and then when they kind of tightened it up a little bit, I was like, okay, maybe they're picking up where they left off, but it's just like...
it's this stupid thing, dude. Players do this all the fucking time, dude. They're like, I'm sick and tired of this young guy, or I'm sick and tired of this fucking guy who gets my shit. And but they're sucking dick. They're fucking blowing dick of a fucking horrible coach who doesn't know how to run a fucking team because they like the coach personally or some shit, or the coach lets them do whatever the fuck they want. That's exactly why fucking goddamn Max Crosby took him for fucking Dingleberry over there on the Raiders. And that's exactly why Eberflus didn't get fired, is because all the fucking people on the Bears offense were like, no, we like Eberflus. He lets us do what we want to do. Well, we don't care about winning. We have so much freedom with him. And so that's why they're like, Caleb Williams is holding us back. He doesn't throw to me because I'm not open or I don't practice with him. Like, go fucking practice.
Well, then now they're just jogging now. The receivers are just like jogging and shit.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
if
the
you saw the
receivers
play
have it.
last week.
I saw fucking DJ Moore just run off the field. So
Yeah.
I mean, so he's just giving the energy that he's given back. So I don't. There's deeper lying issues now. There's a locker room issue there because you have fucking players who are lazy.
Well, that's gonna be. I think DJ Moore is trying to get traded out. Honestly,
I think DJ Moore is a fucking little pussy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't think I've said it, but this entire season I've fucking hated him. Like I'm usually on players' side.
him on fantasy.
I'm on players' side when it comes to anything contractual or anything like that. But when it comes to just this shit, like this whole beef between him and Caleb Williams, it really seems like just because he's mad that Justin Fields is gone, so he hates Caleb Williams and is not willing to work with him to the fullest extent and fucking like basically not try as hard in games. So he should get traded because he's doing that on purpose. He's acting like a fucking bitch. That's exactly
I kind of get it a little. If you think about it from his perspective, he's like, I wanted Fields, and you guys traded for me to be the number one option for Fields, and then they didn't keep the quarterback he wanted, and they drafted a receiver in the first round with the 9th overall pick.
I can get that, but
signed Keenan Allen.
but he's so like mad at Caleb Williams over it. I'd be like, hey man, no disrespect to you, Caleb Williams. I'd be like, this fucking goddamn team, my fucking agents fucking ain't telling me shit. His team ain't telling me shit. No disrespect.
He's probably mad at the coordinator. I bet you
he's definitely more underlying mad at the fucking front office than he is Caleb Williams, but I just think it's stupid because I feel like a lot of people let the hate get internal in the locker room and amongst their peers when it's more a front office or coaching issue and fault.
I don't want to let it be shined away from the Patriots, though. I'm pretty sure they had something like 9 sacks in this game. Good for them.
Dude, the thumbnail for their highlights is literally Caleb Williams on the ground getting sacked, so I'm not surprised.
Let's look at the Falcons-Saints game. This game was interesting. I'm trying to remember exactly what shenanigans led here because I remember something stupid if I'm correct. I remember Alvin Kamara dropping a game-sealing touchdown, but they still won it anyway. Younghoe Koo missed like 4 field goals in this game. I'm pretty sure it was a weird kicking week. He missed 3.
Koo is a weird kicker. Koo is a really weird kicker. I don't like he's cool, he's accurate, but then sometimes like he'll have like this 1 or 2 off weeks and it's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, he's swag. I don't know. It's just some weeks he doesn't have it.
I like him though. I really like him. I've had him on my fantasy team multiple times.
The biggest story of this game was the Marquez Valdez-Scantling had 3 receptions for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's their new Rashid Shaheed. So, I mean, that's pretty much what won him the game. New acquisition, new coach as well. Dan Rizzi, I think his name is Dan. I know his last name's Rizzi because it's a dumb name, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it's their special teams coordinator, I think, right?
Why not just promote Kubiak, who had all the... I guess they probably had this planned out in case or something, but seniority or whatever.
They probably want Kubiak if he comes in as head coach. They'd probably want him to come in as like a first-year head coach with a fresh start, fresh team, fresh season, and everything to his liking. So they probably had special teams guy, and then also they were like he's so good at defense. Let's keep him there. So they'd rather start him fresh if they were gonna have him as a coach, or they might just be also trying to keep him as a coordinator.
Damn, they had a lot of sacks. Hold on, how many sacks is this? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they sacked him 3 times, and Tyrann Mathieu had the game-sealing pick at the end. He will forever be a Saint, I guess. He's just gonna rot there. The Honey Badger, man. He got his ring, and then he got paid. Now he's just gonna stay at home because he's from Louisiana, right? I know he went to LSU.
Cameron Jordan's gonna fucking be there forever too.
Yeah, he's just no trade value anymore, and they keep extending
I was about to say he's been there forever already. He's been there for like 16 or 17 seasons, and he's
not been good this year.
No way. You said he's not good this year?
No, he's not really.
I mean he's like fucking 40 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, there's always room to improve. Cam Hayward was bad last year, and he's good this year, so we'll see what happens with him.
Jordan's entire career has been kind of fucking crazy, I'm not gonna lie.
The Saints are super weird, man.
I mean, Cam Jordan hasn't really been himself for a little bit, but like maybe like 2 seasons or so. But I mean, damn, he really has kind of felt. He has an interception though.
In this game?
No, he had an interception this season.
Oh yeah, I can't remember who that was against. Fuck. Oh well. But Vikings Jaguars was a lackluster game. Mac Jones played because Trevor Lawrence is hurt and might be out for the year. He threw a touch. Who did he throw the touchdown to? Did he throw a touchdown? I can't remember who got the one touchdown. It was Mac. He snuck it in there. That's right. But other than that, he had like one decent play to Gabe Davis, and then the rest of the game was just ass. Travis Etienne had like a big play at first, and then nothing happened after that. They were just stagnant. I don't know how Doug Peterson's not fired yet. And as far as Sam Darnold, he threw 3 interceptions, and they were just throwing interceptions all game.
Damn. See, Sam Darnold's back to being himself again. And I remember everyone was like, Sam Darnold revamped his career, guys. He's taking over J.J. McCarthy's spot. Bullshit. Yeah, sure. They're starting his ass immediately.
Yeah, I was never really hyped for the Sam Darnold thing. I was happy it was working because I like the Vikings, but I don't trust him, and it will be their downfall eventually.
It'll be another Vikings year where they have like 12 or 13 wins and lose in the wild card round.
Also, they don't do well when they're not using Aaron Jones. Like, if he's not there, their offense is worse.
Shout out Aaron Jones, man, for kind of, I'm not going to say revamping his career because he's been good, and he had a decent season last year, but shout out Aaron Jones for fucking showing people that he's still there. Making a name for himself in Minnesota.
Vikings win a game that they should, but not very well. I believe in the devil now because of this Chiefs-Broncos game. Like, I fucking called that blocked field goal. I'm not even.
Oh my god. That was bullshit. Fuck. Dude. They're going to go 20-0 this season. They're winning the Super Bowl and everything. They're going 17-0, and they're going to go 3-0 in the playoffs. And that motherfucker Patrick Mahomes is even going to fucking participate in the Pro Bowl for zero reason and win the Pro Bowl too. Just to say, I went 21-0.
Oh my god. I would actually love to see a Super Bowl participating quarterback go to the Pro Bowl and do some dumb shit.
That'd be weird, because they're always named as Pro Bowlers, but they always skip out on playing the game because there's no fucking reason to, because you could get injured. So it's always about preservation over that.
Bo Nix, they had a good game. Like, they started off like 14-3 or something like that, and then just they're stagnant throughout the rest of the game. And but the Chiefs, like, they missed a wide open touchdown at the end, and the Broncos had a chance. I smelled that coming though in the last drive. Like, when they lined up that field goal, I said to myself, "Devil magic is coming." And then they blocked that motherfucker, and Patrick Mahomes ran up the field like, "Yeah, Yeah, Satan, thank you.
Devil magic is what they said about fucking the Patriots and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady too.
This one's ridiculous, though, bro. I even sensed.
I guarantee you, there's probably some ridiculous. I mean, that was ridiculous, but there's some ridiculous ass shit that happened in the Patriots' whole 16-0 run. That was fucking crazy. Yo, what if that happens? What if they go 17-0, man, and then they fucking go, they're 19-0, and it's like one more win to go 20-0 and be the fucking only undefeated team since the fucking Dolphins or whatever, and then they do it. They lose to like, I don't know, some mediocre ass wild card team in the Super Bowl. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, honestly, if they get that far, I'd like to see the three-peat just for history's sake.
Honestly, that's what I was saying too. Like, maybe my Cowboys bias is running here, but I was thinking like if I was like, because I was alive, but I wasn't really old enough to care. If I was old enough to care, even though I'm a Cowboys fan and I just don't like the Giants, I think I would have wanted the fucking Patriots to beat the Giants in that 16-0 year just to see them do history and fucking go like 18-0 or 19-0 or whatever the fuck the perfect record was. That would have just been cool as fuck to see.
But then what will the Dolphins do? They will have nothing.
Dude, the Dolphins went 14-0 or like 7 or they went 17-0 if you include their play. They went 17-0 when fucking players could smoke cigarettes on the sidelines. I guarantee, like, the fucking 2-7, like, or the 2-8 Panthers right now, I guarantee you the worst NFL team could beat that fucking undefeated Dolphins team. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but I mean, every year they be trotting them old fuckers out and be like, look at them, they're still kicking, and then they go, Miami Dolphins. I like their song. I like when teams have songs. A team that doesn't have a song, but instead just a loud ass fucking cannon. The Buccaneers played the 49ers at home with the cannons, and they lost by a field goal. Did you see anything from this game?
No, but she told me some crazy shit happened.
Well, Moody could not hit a fucking field goal. He was 3 for 6, and he missed like 3 in a row. And then at the end of the game, he hit the game winner. It was so frustrating that Deebo Samuel fucking choked out the long snapper or whatever, and then punched Moody on accident. It was a really frustrated Deebo. There wasn't much in this game. Ricky Pearsall caught a 46-yard touchdown. I think it was 46 yards for the touchdown. It was a good touchdown run, a catch and run. But so he scored his first touchdown, and then CMC came back for the Niners. But the biggest thing was Jake Moody missing all these fucking kicks. If they didn't draft him with a third-round pick, he'd be gone by now.
So was it the long snapper's fault or some shit? Or was
I don't know. I think Deebo was yelling at Moody, and then the long snapper said something, and then Deebo was like, "Man, shut up! You're a long snapper." I don't know, but yeah, it was weird, and then they still won, which is some bullshit, and it won't matter. But if they lost, it would be like a big thing.
Deebo, you don't even play your own position half the time. Fuck you, and dude, you didn't go to national championship winning Michigan Wolverine school and. Well, yeah, Moody did. He didn't win. He got drafted the year before we won, but he's still a part of that goddamn team. He still had more success than Deebo ever will.
This is like when we gave Deshaun Jackson a ring for being there the first 5 weeks. The only other thing, Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving is great. Always will be, I guess, and probably not always, but he's good this year. And then Baker Mayfield had a 116 yards game, not a great game stat wise, but he continues to make plays. I don't know if I sent you the 4th and 8 where he stiff arms Nick Bosa for 3 seconds and then throws it to Rachaad White for with a one arm, not well obviously a one arm throw, but off his back foot, like walking away from Nick Bosa, who's grabbing him by the arm and shit. He threw it to Rachaad White. Did you see that play? It was fucking awesome.
No,
I'm gonna send it to you real quick. I'm gonna send it to you while I talk, Ben, because this is a fucking dope play. Where is it? There he is. I'll probably watch it not send very fast because of reasons. Anyway, but yeah, Baker Mayfield I love what he's made of this year. I don't get it, even though they keep losing in unfortunate ways. Baker, I think he's proven himself this year. I don't know if he'll keep it up because of his whole inconsistent vibe, but I'm happy for him. Look at that play real quick on Instagram before we move on to the Bills game.
America knows. Whoa.
You see that shit?
Nick Bosa can't sack him for shit.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Everybody says Nick Bosa's powers turn off with white quarterbacks. I don't know.
Yeah, Nick Bosa's a little bit racist. I don't know if you know about that.
Probably. I don't know much about it. I know he loves MAGA.
He's got some whole fucking Twitter background from before, like when he was still in Ohio State. He had this whole. He was Twitter. He was like. He was MAGA'd up. I'm not saying fucking Trump supporters themselves, like all of them are fucking racists, but I'm saying he was one of those MAGA dude QAnon motherfuckers you see who's spouting conspiracy theories about great replacement shit. He's that kind of fucking weird.
Speaking of weird Twitters though, Josh Allen and Mitch Trubisky being in the same quarterback room is hilarious. Because isn't Trubisky the titty kisser, and Josh Allen said all that crazy shit?
Yeah, hasn't Trubisky Trubisky's been a Bill for a while now, hasn't he? He's been their backup.
He was a Steeler a few years ago or something. I know he came back to the Bills. He was a Bill, and then he went to Steelers, and then he came back. But I don't know how long he's been back with the Bills.
Shout out.
But he does. They send him out there to kneel. It's fucking funny. They don't want to mess up Allen's rushing stats, I guess. So they send out Trubisky to kneel.
Hey man, shout out Trubisky, the last Bears quarterback to be a Pro Bowler. I'm being serious. 2018, he was a Pro Bowler.
I know. I'm just thinking about Caleb Williams, man. It's
Dude, I remember arguing with someone in 2018, a fucking Bears fan. Who was like, why is Dak here? He doesn't even deserve to be with Mitch. Mitch had such a great season. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, Dak is 10 times better than Mitch ever will be.
Well, with context, he did it on the Bears. You gotta think that means something. That's kind of how the Browns won so many awards last year.
First or second season, so that was his kind of oh, I proved myself season. I just had a bad first and second year. See, I'm actually good, even though he kind of... He's overhated, though. I'll give him that. He's not the worst. He's backup / temporary starter caliber, which is why I think the Bills are keeping him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good kneeler, that's for sure.
He's not a horrible player either, I don't think. He's not even a horrible quarterback. The Bears...
He's probably great to have for vibes.
For doing what he did
He's a great vibes guy, probably.
He is probably good for vibes, too. He does seem like a cool guy.
The Bills' weapons, they missed Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman in this game. But, they still got Khalil Shakir and Mac Hollins. I love Mac Hollins. I have since he was a Falcon last year. I just seen him. I like tall receivers, and we'll get to that later with the Eagles game. This guy got his first touchdown. But also, Khalil Shakir is proving himself to me this year. I didn't watch him much last year. I heard his name, and I seen him make a few plays, but this year he's really upped it. He's got some of the most yards after contact in the league. I'm pretty sure he might lead the league in yards after contact if I remember right.
Khalil Shakir is what they expected Gabe Davis to be after that fucking one game where he had 4 touchdowns in the fucking playoffs against the Chiefs.
The Bills seem to generate receivers for sure. But with the Colts, they had a weird game. I remember a wide open Josh Downs touchdown that was dropped by him. Joe Flacco threw a pick six. So I mean, this game could have been closer if Joe Flacco didn't fucking throw it 3 interceptions, and Josh Allen also threw 2 picks. But they wasted a great Jonathan Taylor game. They wasted a great defense game. Adonai Mitchell's great when they can get him the ball, but he's inconsistent with drops and getting actually the ball. He's a rookie though. I don't blame him. Other than that, I mean, Bills should have won this game, and they did. I don't know if anybody got hurt or anything crazy like that in this game.
Bills are the Bills are proving one of my predictions correct about the season, but they're also proving another one wrong. I said the Bills will overshadow everyone's expectations, and fucking Josh Allen will be forced to spread the ball around a little more, and that's exactly what he's doing, and the fucking receivers don't look half bad. And I was right, and they'd maintain their dominance and still be over the Miami Dolphins. But what I said was, I also said in that, I said the Jets would win the fucking AFC East because of Aaron Rodgers, and I was so goddamn on that hype train. And
I said the Dolphins would win.
The fuck down. But hey, I was right about the Bills being better than the Dolphins and the fucking Bills being better than everyone thinking they were. I was right about the Bills still contending.
If the Bills can beat the Chiefs or the Bengals, I mean the Bengals don't matter this year, but if the Bills can beat like the teams I don't want to win, I'll go root for that. Fine. Next game up was Titans-Chargers. This game started with Will Levis throwing a big touchdown to Calvin Ridley, and I was like, maybe Minter's defense isn't as good as I thought, and then it was because Will Levis kind of just tried to not make mistakes and couldn't really push plays doing that. And the Chargers ran all over him. They had Gus Edwards come back for this game. He had 55 yards. What else happened in this game?
Yeah,
Ladd McConkey's a deep threat.
From what I know, from seeing Minter be our defensive coordinator at Michigan, his defensive scheme and the way he runs his defense, they're definitely bend not break kind of motherfuckers. Like, it might take them a while. Like, it might take them a while to get them off the field, but they're gonna like slow you down like hell, and they're gonna make fucking drive like they're gonna make offensive drives be like, if it takes you like average like 6-7 plays to get down the fucking field in a drive and score, they're gonna make you take like fucking 20 plays or 20 fucking plays in that drive. Like, they're a bend not break kind of defense.
They're great. The only thing I have to really say about the Chargers that I knew would kind of have to happen is with not kind of have to happen, but Greg Roman and the whole offense and the whole running quarterback thing that they like to do. They've done it with. They had Kaepernick. They had Lamar, obviously, with Greg Roman. Who was the other one that Harbaugh and Roman had? I think they had one more Russian quarterback, but they have Justin Herbert running at like a career high this year, and he makes moves and like lowers the shoulder and does all this shit. And I'm like, dude, he was hurt just last year, and then they hired Greg Roman. I knew this would kind of be bad. I mean, he's running, and he did get hurt this year at one point too. So it's like, I don't think they give a shit because they think Justin Herbert's a Superman, even though he gets hurt.
Yeah, he runs. He runs more than what the fuck? He runs more than McCarthy did. I mean, I know Greg Roman wasn't the coordinator. I mean, still, I know he wasn't coordinator for McCarthy, but still, damn, I didn't expect it to be that much. McCarthy still like ran, but he didn't. He's not running. He ain't run as much as Herbert is this year. So there's some definite like similarities between how he ran the team in Michigan versus how he runs the team in the NFL in LA.
I think Herbert has the mindset to win, and on these running plays, he's gonna get himself hurt trying to fucking get some more yards or do a move or something. Because I think he did get hit on one of these plays, but one play where a quarterback did get hit was Kyler Murray got popped on a blindside sack. I don't remember who got him, but it was. I think it might have been Quincy Williams. Let's see. Defense sack.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the Jets
Quincy
are
Williams.
3-7.
Yeah, Jets season it's so crazy. Like I thought this was like a Super Bowl roster. This reminded me of how our roster felt when we won the Super Bowl. Rodgers was a little bit older, but he was better than Stafford almost. He is better than Stafford. Or he was.
Rodgers has been having Rodgers has been having a better season than he did in his last season in Green Bay. I'm not gonna lie, but that's not saying much.
Yeah. It's not the best season, but the whole not being at camp and going to Egypt thing really looks like shit now. I don't even know if he'll be back next year. Probably not.
Yeah, he might be a Viking next year.
But this was our head-to-head. I am 7-3, the opposite of the Jets. You are the Jets.
Except I had potential for comeback. I actually won like 2 or 3 games in a row. I started off like 0-3.
Just gotta run the table, man. You just gotta run the table. I think. Yeah. But I don't. What else happened in this game? Trey McBride had a huge play where he like hurdled the guy and broke off of Sauce Gardner. Now Sauce Gardner's facing a lot of criticism for not tackling very physically, which is fair. I mean, he's not a big tackler. What else in this game? Marvin Harrison, I think he scored a touchdown. Yes, he did.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray looks great when he's
motherfucker.
Huh?
He's a big play kind of guy.
Yes, he needs to get a little bit open. He can't. I don't think he's obviously not a very physical receiver, but he's talented. So I mean, if he's not about to get popped up the middle, don't fucking Chris Olave Marvin Harrison is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
The thing about this Kyler Murray offense that's complimenting him the best before we move on is the rushing. They got like 3 fucking running backs they like. They like Amari DeMarcado, James Conner, and Trey Benson. So, I mean, it's just a good system. Having a lot of running backs seems to be good. Other than that, Jets continue to struggle. Yeah. Moving on. Eagles Cowboys, a similar struggle. The worst quarterback performance of the week goes to Cooper Rush. Good job. He did so bad that he caused Trey Lance and Kenny Pickett to get snaps in this game.
Yeah, Trey Lance fucking sucks.
Trey Lance does suck, and he threw a pick, but he also had a play, I don't know if you saw it, where he was like doing a signal, and he was literally just holding up his finger, and he put his finger into his 2 fingers like a sex sign, and it was just like, let's go, and he was fingering his own hand. It was really funny looking.
Put my fingers in his ass if he stays on my team.
Okay. Damn. What else happened in this game? I heard Cooper Rush doing the here we go. So apparently that's a system. Yeah,
I thought it was bad when Dak did it.
You weren't? I liked it. That was funny.
At first, but then I got used to it. But I could imagine hearing Cooper Rush say that would be fucking horrible to hear. I'm glad I didn't watch that game that much. I could kind of tell what the fuck was gonna happen.
It was funny. It's definitely funny to hear Dak going when you're down by like 20 points. He's just like awfully, you're not gonna win the game, and he's like, we're coming back. We're gonna make it look less bad on the box score. Yeah. I don't know. But the one thing, the main thing from this game that's being taken away right now, Zeke had a red zone fumble as well. It was pretty funny. I think it just went out the back of the end zone for a touchback. But another thing, CD had 1 catch that was rushing. So CD had like 6 catches, 21 yards. It was not good, but he missed a touchdown catch. Huh?
I said, CD did not have a good game.
He missed a touchdown catch because that fucking sun glare from your dumbass stadium was in his eyes.
Dude, I seen that. That was one of the plays that I saw, dude. I saw we were in the end zone, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what the hell was that? And then I realized there's fucking sun all on that side of the field, and I'm like, motherfucker.
It's so dumb. And people criticize it. Someone asked Jerry Jones, like, "Hey, are you going to put curtains up next game? Because you put curtains up on the stadium when other things are happening." And he's like, "Well, why don't we just go ahead and build a whole new stadium then? Why don't we just take it all down and make a new one?" So I
don't know.
Jerry,
why don't you fucking install like fucking ceiling curtains at least for when your team is fucking playing on that side of the field, dude. Open it when the other fucking team. Open it when the other team is looking at that side. Close it when your team isn't.
That'd be some funny strategy. The Cardinals had a funny thing last week when they played the Bears, where like it was hailing in the first half, and the commentators were like, "They can close the roof. I don't know why they're not closing the roof." And then they did for the second half, but the first half they were just getting hailed on and shit. And it also only hit the field.
They're like, hold on,
everywhere else
we have to wait for no fucking reason other than procedure that makes 0 sense.
I mean, yeah, they were just probably like, "Ooh, are we allowed to shut the roof right now? I don't know. We have to get approval."
Yeah, that's probably what it was. All these fucking, they're like, "Shit, we need to get approval," and then they're talking and they're trying to get a hold of their boss, and their boss is like, "Do it at halftime."
Yeah, do it when the TV's off or the connection's not fucking streaming. Yeah,
do it when they don't do it when the masses won't notice.
Yeah, I don't have anything else for that game really. The Lions-Texans game was something crazy. I didn't stay up for the second half, and I don't know how many of these interceptions Jared Goff threw in the first half.
Oh my god, he threw 5 interceptions. Holy shit! And they still won the fucking game.
I saw a stat where it was like the first team to do that since like the 20s or some shit like that.
Dude, I was about to say, that sounds like a 1920s ass stat. Except back in the 20s, like, both quarterbacks would have 5 interceptions, and their fucking running back would have, like, 300 yards and, like, 5 billion touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really do much in this game except, like, pop off at the end. I saw a big Gibbs play from what I remember. Stroud.
Porta and St. Brown.
There was a really stupid play in this game. I didn't see it live, but I saw the replay of it where Stroud was under pressure and he's about to get sacked, and then his own lineman came back to him and like popped the ball out of his hand, and they fumbled it. So it was like his own lineman stripped him for like no reason. It was just an odd game, man.
CJ Stroud also, with these 2 interceptions against Detroit, has more interceptions than he did last year now.
Yeah, his offensive line's been doing him no fucking favors. He's like the most pressured quarterback in the league. Joe Mixon couldn't get running this game even, 46 yards for 25 attempts.
Damn. That's bad.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Mitchie had a good game.
Good for him. I feel funny about Mechie, because Mechie, I'm like, yeah. What, he had, like, brain cancer or some shit? Or, like, leukemia?
I just always like him.
John Mechie had some kind of cancer before he was played, because it took his rookie year off to recover from it.
Leukemia.
But, yeah, he had leukemia. And then Foster Moreau, I think he retired because he got cancer. And then he unretired. And for some reason, I was like, man, he retired. So, like, when Foster Moreau scores, I'm just like, you shouldn't even be in the league. You fucking medically retired and then just came back anyway. That's the Saints for you, though, bro. Like, they've never had a great medical
Urban
history.
Meyer fucking medically retired from Ohio State from coaching. And because of heart problems or some shit. And so Bruce Arians did the same shit. He fucking had heart problems or some shit, and he fucking retired from the Cardinals. And then fucking as soon as Tom Brady comes to the Bucks, it's fucking, I'm gonna go to the Bucks.
I thought he was a Buck before that because he played with Jameis Winston, no?
Oh yeah, he was. He was a Buck the year before.
Okay.
Still though, the Bucks had a fucking like good ass roster, so he was definitely looking to get rid of Jameis. He was definitely looking to come back and win something with the Bucks, and Brady was right there with him.
Well,
but still, there are a lot of dudes who retire medically, and I'm not saying they don't have medical problems because they probably do, and that's how they're able to retire medically. But I feel like the problem isn't like so drastic to where they have to retire, and they kind of use it as somewhat of an excuse to get out of a bad situation, like Bruce Arians and the Cardinals. Why the fuck would he want to be a goddamn Cardinals coach anymore?
Speaking of two people who may need to medically retire before their career is over, Tua and Matthew Stafford both fucking showed off. I get they didn't show off. This was a really goofy, stupid game. All field goals from us, no
Dolphins
touchdowns.
Suck, dude.
We lost to them.
I know.
But,
I'm surprised y'all didn't go above 500 because the Dolphins suck.
Yeah, the first half of the game, so there was this one sequence, dude. I'm trying to remember it.
Oh, I think Puka getting fucking 5 billion receptions again. Let's go.
He's a really good. I think he's a mix of athleticism and system receiver. Like him and Cup, he's like the more athletic version and young version of Cup, because they just do what they're supposed to do. Anyway, though, like they're not the problem. Our offensive line finally came back all year from being fucked up, and now they're here again. Steve Avila, who was supposed to be our center, finally came back, and we put him at guard for whatever reason. And then Jonah Jackson from the Lions, we signed him in the beginning of the off season, and he's finally back, and we put him at center. So we switched the guys we were supposed to have at center and guard up for some reason, and then there was one play where Jonah Jackson fucking snapped it super high, and we fumbled it. And this was like, I think this might have been the middle or the beginning of all the sequences where we fucked up, but at one point we threw a pick, and then they threw a pick, and then we had a fumble, and then they had a fumble, and it was this most stupid turnover battle shit ever. And on one of those plays, Tua fucking threw an interception, and then he like went to tackle the guy and hit his head on his knee. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not. I did not. That's insane.
Sorry, my girlfriend is dying. I thought she was with Tua for a second.
James Houston shit his pants.
You're right. I don't know where you got that out of your brain, but he did do that.
I randomly went on my phone, and the first thing that popped up in my feed is this dude with the fucking shit stain in his pants.
It happens, bro. But like, in the Lions white, come on, tighten up.
That's fucking hilarious.
Let's see who else shit themselves.
There's
just
a lot of players.
The whole Rams fucking O-line
vomited.
I think Jared Verse is slowly separating himself in the Rookie of the Year discussion. Personally, I think Braden Fisk is right there with him in talent. He is the Vegeta to versus Goku. You know what I mean? They're both very different in their game, but they're very effective. I was gonna say in the beginning of the year, and I fucking kept forgetting every week to say it, and now it's gonna look stupid, but Braden Fisk might be better or the same as Jared Verse, like in skill wise, and the fact that they're teammates and friends and they can play together on this team for a long time to come, hopefully, it is exciting.
Hell yeah! Damn, was that all the NFL games?
Yeah, and we just need to pick a head-to-head
for next week. Ooh, what should it be for next week? I guarantee.
I'm looking at good games.
I'm just go ahead and look. Well, what do you think about Washington versus Eagles? Because I think the Eagles are gonna win that one.
I got Commanders, but I mean, I don't want to take you up on that one. I'm looking throughout the week. I'm looking at this Falcons Broncos game and it's tempting.
I'd take Falcons in that.
I know you would. That's why I would. I'm thinking maybe
Ravens
Broncos.
Steelers could be a good gun too, depending on who you got. Because I got the Ravens.
I don't know in that one, honestly.
That one's
Steelers
tough, though.
like
It's in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers usually do good against the Ravens for some reason.
Steelers are good in the division. Yeah. I'm just looking at any games. Broncos, Falcons, or Chiefs and Bills are more exciting in my opinion, and Bengals, Chargers.
I'd go Bengals.
Those are all good ones. You'd go Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Against Minter and Harbaugh.
Deadass. Honestly, yeah.
I mean, let's see. What about Chiefs Bills? Who do you think?
I got the Bills.
You got
Bills gonna hand them their first L.
I got disagree with you on all of these.
Even
like
though
I think
said
Chiefs.
they're going 20-0 earlier in the fucking episode, I didn't realize they're playing the Bills in Buffalo. The Bills usually do good against them in the regular season, and they got years upon years of fucking hurt. They can spoil the Chiefs' little fucking undefeated season.
Oh man, I'll make it interesting. I want to see Justin Herbert separate himself from Joe Burrow. It's not likely going to happen because Justin Herbert's never had a player similar to Jamar Chase on his team. So if Jamar can just do that again, also he's leading the league in receiving yards. The Bengals, for some reason, with this garbage time and like super high scoring games, they're leading the league in sacks with Trey Hendrickson. They are leading the league in passing yards with Joe Burrow, and they're leading the league in receiving yards with Jamar Chase.
And receptions and reception touchdowns.
Yes, and the Triple Crown. That's right. And I don't know if that's still accurate. I think so, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and they're on a fucking what are they 7-4-6 or something? I can't.
Yeah, they're 4-6, I think. Let me see real quick. Actually, they are. Yep, you're right. They're 4-6. It's not quite over.
I'll take you on Chargers Bengals. I'll go Chargers.
I'll go Bengals.
Cool. All right. I just want to talk about a few NBA standings real fast. The Cavaliers are still undefeated.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Which
They're
is cool.
12-0.
Yep. Magic kind of come back a little bit playing some shitty teams. What were we saying?
Jokic right now is averaging a triple-double. He's averaging 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 12 assists a game on 57% shooting right now in fucking 10 games played. Holy shit. Yeah, we've been having a little bit of a little comeback too, and it's all been because of him. Right now, the projected number one MVP in the MVP race is Jokic, obviously, averaging a fucking 30-point triple-double on almost 60% shooting.
I say Jamal Murray's not been doing his best.
Yeah, and Westbrook's been kind of on and off, and our bench has been kind of inconsistent. But I've noticed our players like Murray a little bit recently, Gordon, MPJ, and especially Christian Brown. Our starters have started to come back to themselves, but Jokic himself is just on a whole different level this year. And then
the East is awful. There's only 2 teams above 500 in the East.
Yeah, the East is like that. The West is usually the good fucking conference, man.
Like, who was good I mean, there was more teams above that last year at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
like
there might
the Bucks.
have been,
The Bucks are 2-8. That is ridiculous.
That is pretty fucking ridiculous. I expected to get better.
I didn't know that they would have. I didn't know they hired Darvin Ham in the offseason. I don't know how that swooped over my head. And that they kept Doc Rivers. Like I didn't. I really that stayed under the radar for me. And it's pretty goofy now that we're looking at it, and they're just ass. Like whose decision was that?
Yeah, the Bucks.
Giannis is out of there.
And there's only one other thing I really wanted to say. Other than the fact that Wembanyama had like a 34-point game yesterday with like 17 rebounds and like fucking 6 blocks or some shit. Because he's just Wembanyama. Wembanyama's had like a kind of start to the season. Not as good, or like not as good as people expected him to be. People expected him to improve a lot, but And he's made some improvements, especially in the rebounding department, but as he kind of looks like the same. But, you can't expect shit to happen overnight. I like the game he had. He's showing some improvements, some promise. Wembanyama's development looks good. And then the only other thing I wanted to say is there is some shit. I think last week we already said, but Bronny got sent to the G League, and then there are a couple of injuries that went on.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, you got fucking... Let's see who's in. Oh,
Chet hurt his hip.
Zion's injured indefinitely for several weeks. He'll be reevaluated soon. Kevin Durant will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Chet Holmgren tore his hip. He will be back.
No, he broke it.
Yeah.
He fractured it. Yeah.
Yeah, right hip fracture. Return to play protocol will be provided in 8 to 10 weeks. He said he expects and plans to, he expects and plans to come back this season. Pelicans guard Jose Alvarado is expected to miss 6 weeks due to a hamstring injury. And that's all I got on the injury report for you all this week.
I don't think I had any injury. Oh, John Morant I saw was hurt. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
John
remember.
Morant, he's been kind of hurt as of recent.
I wanted to mention shout out LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, sorry, on the Hornets. They've been doing well this year. And also Lonzo Ball is hurt again with a wrist.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I did see that. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
Guess
big
what starts
thing,
today? Holy shit! The group stages, the NBA in season cup. Holy fuck!
Oh my god, I see that now. Actually, yeah, I don't give a shit.
I don't either.
Go Hornets! I hope Hornets
the
win
courts
that.
are gonna change for a month.
That's right. I do hope they make it less awful to look at.
I do hope some of the court designs have changed.
They just need to be less bright and more thought in the design. I don't know, but hopefully the Magic can tread water a little bit with Tristan Da Silva, Jalen Suggs, and the Franz Wagner when he's doing good. What else? The last sports thing. Oh, I'll just say the shenanigan of the week because it doesn't even matter. You don't have to do the song or nothing. But Travis Hunter was playing a game where, for some reason, the crowd was throwing tortillas onto the field. I'm sure you know Caleb, and he put one in his pants. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty fucking funny. I don't know why he did that, but hey.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, I guess why not?
But we're gonna predict UFC's the 309's main card real quick. I'm gonna do a quick little shout out on some of the prelims though. We got fucking this big heavyweight. Hopefully he knocks out Marcin Tybura.
No,
we got
Anthony Smith
Jim
got
Miller fighting.
canceled.
What did you say?
I said Anthony Smith got canceled.
Oh, he was gonna fight. Who is he gonna fight?
He was gonna fight Dominic Reyes.
Oh, that was for this. Oh shit! I didn't know that was for this card. Damn,
there are a few canceled fights this card. Fuck. Krylov's not
I don't see the
fighting
cancellation.
anymore.
Damn, that's why this card's so weak. I don't see the cancellations on this
Lucas
on the UFC
Almeida's
website.
not fighting David Onama anymore.
David Onama is still fighting, so I mean,
he's still
you really
fighting,
don't need.
But he's not fighting.
Oh wait, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I don't know why. Maybe that got canceled or something for a different weight. I don't know, but it says it's still there.
Oh, okay, good.
The only prelim that I think you should watch, Caleb, if you do get a chance, is the featured prelim between Jonathan Martinez and Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee is like a created character from Skyrim or some shit, and he's just really strong and he can do everything. He's dope. He could be a champion one day. I don't know how old he is. Let me see how old he is.
Bro's the fucking Dragonborn. Oh my, holy hairline.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Why won't you tell me how old he is? Please.
He's 34.
Okay, never mind. He's older, so he go now. But on the main card, starting off with Mauricio Rufy versus James Lontop. I don't remember much about Lon Top. I think he's a strong boxer or something, but Mauricio Hufi is or Rufi or whatever is he's like Brazilian Conor McGregor right now. Like last fight he had versus Jamie Malarkey, he hit a scissor sweep and he was just doing some of the most amazing striking nowadays I've ever seen. He was hitting everything. He was styling on Malarkey. He's a minus 750 favorite, and I'm not gonna go against that. And I would love to see Rufy be like the next evolution. And I might have talked about them before, but right now there's this gym called the Fighting Nerds that are just taking over the UFC, and he's one of these guys. It's him, it's John Silva, it's Caio Bahayo, it's the guy who fought this last weekend, Carlos Prates. It's a lot of these Brazilian dudes who are just like super talented and taking it to like a technical analysis level, and they're just becoming like these fucking warriors. They're taking over every weight class, man. It's crazy. But
yeah, I'm not gonna go against the Pirate King either, Luffy. You're gonna get my vote.
He's dope. And then the next one, I'm just gonna be quick. Vivian Arujo. I'm gonna go with her because she's ranked higher. Actually, wait, no, I'm not, because Karina Silva is the favorite, and I think she's younger or something.
I'm gonna go with
I don't
Silva
care about
she
this
got
one.
more wins and less losses.
Who Silva?
Yep.
Okay, we can cool. Then we got Bo Nickel, Paul Craig. Bo Nickel is a minus 1,000 favorite. Wow. Dude, some of these odds might be worth jumping on here. Like
I was about to. That's a crazy odd. I would bet Paul Craig if the minus is 1,000. That's crazy.
Dude, Paul Craig,
no shot.
Paul Craig, Michael Chandler, and Stipe all parlay. Dude, that might hit some money, man. Because like, I don't know.
I don't
Paul
know about
Craig,
Stipe.
He could get that knockout, man.
We don't know about Chandler either.
Chandler, I think the odds are disrespecting him. Charles has kind of looked not as good in his last few fights, but that's also because they are grapplers more than Chandler, so we'll see. But as far as Bo Nickel and Paul Craig, I'm going to go Bo just because I think he can knock him out on the feet. I don't even think they'll have to go to the ground, honestly.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on this. I think Bo.
Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. I'm gonna pick Chandler. I don't know, man. Something about the fury of waiting 2 years to fight. Probably I don't know. Charles is thinking about fighting Max Holloway for the BMF belt and all this shit. So is Chandler, but I don't know. Chandler just had more time.
For the fact that he's more active and he beat the shit, and he didn't beat the shit out of him his first fight. It was kind of like he was getting his ass kicked the first round, kind of, and then he fucking like. Boom, boom, boom. The second round fucking knocked him down, then got the choke off.
That first fight, they could have stopped it, but
they could have, honestly, yeah. But I'll still go with Charles, even though his chin's made of fucking glass.
If Michael Chandler can look any kind of more technical than he has in the past, I think he could win this. Like, he could just pick his shots and drop Charles. But, yeah, so I'll go with Chandler.
Is this confirmed John Jones' last fight?
No, John Jones has been saying all kinds of bullshit coming into fight week. Like, you know, everyone wants him to fight Tom Aspinall, right?
Everyone would like him to. I think he should retire.
After this?
Yeah, I don't want to see him lose.
He's being a bitch, bro. He's like, he's saying like, oh, I might vacate the title and go fight Alex Pereira at 205 for a BMF belt.
What?
And just let Tom be the
legacy and being the GOAT. I thought he just wanted to beat Stipe and be done with it.
I think he's trolling, dude. I think he might retire. I think retirement is more possible than defending again or fighting Pereira.
I was about to say, considering his last fight was like 2 years ago almost, and it took him almost 3 years to get to that fight, and it's taken him another 2 years to get to this fucking fight. Yeah, I think it's retirement probably. Or if he doesn't retire, he's going to have to vacate his belt, and then he's going to retire.
I had a comment on Instagram blow up because it was like, I got there. You know how when you get to an Instagram post early and you drop a banger comment, you're probably going to get the likes because it's the first thing they see. But it was John Jones on like a treadmill or some shit on Instagram Live, and it was him saying like, I see y'all calling me a duck in here. Go ahead. Call me a duck. Call me a chicken. Call me a goat. Call me a dog. he was just being weird, and he was like, "Come on, guys, we're not in high school anymore. You think it's crazy that we live in a world where calling me a duck should really bother me? That's crazy." And I don't know about you, but I've heard a lot of coping in my life, and I've done some too. Uh, that was the most fucking childish high schooler way, where he's like, "I'm a grown man chasing my dreams. I'm not a high schooler. I don't have to be
Yeah,
bothered by this,
that's pretty
whatever." Like,
lame. John Jones was pretty lame.
he's a great strategist for keeping his career intact and also bothering Tom Aspinall at the same time. But
With that
if he
being
does retire,
said,
it'll look awful.
John Jones is my prediction for this main card.
Same, yeah, same. But it's all about what he does after this fight, to be honest. We'll see.
Stipe, it's
But
been
yeah,
like fucking 5 years since I've seen Stipe get knocked out by Ngannou.
it was in the Apex with small gloves during COVID. Yep. I remember Brian Ortega and Volkanovski had to pull out of that card because they got COVID. But I have like one more thing for you before I know you have some things to say. I wanted to do something fun before we get into whatever that was that you wanted to talk about. But I have like a goofy little would you rather just to have some fun.
All right.
I got like 8 questions or something. Yeah. This one's starting off just sort of simple. Would you rather have lunch with Jerry Jones or Kim Jong Un?
I'd rather have lunch with Kim Jong Un.
What would you talk about though? Does he speak English?
He's been with Dennis Rodman before. Dennis Rodman is him hang out. I'd probably talk to him about basketball and sports because according to Dennis Rodman, he's like he's a normal ass dude who like watches sports and like normal
With
shit.
Jerry, you would just like want to assault him across the table the whole time. You couldn't stand looking at Jerry.
Yeah, I would fucking like. I'd hate him. I'd just be like, you do a lot fucking better. Like I hate him. I hate Jerry Jones.
Honestly, you might get assassinated if you say the wrong thing by either guy.
I don't know. I feel like I got good standing with Kim Jong Un. I don't think he'd do that to me.
Okay. I'm glad y'all are boys. Would you rather take a body punch from Ilya Taporia or get laughed at by a room full of women?
I'd rather get laughed at by a room full of women. Jesus Christ.
Really, bro? They'd be like hyenas, man.
I could ignore that. I don't think I could ignore the pain after getting punched in the stomach by that motherfucker.
Fair. He like, I said that because he goes viral for punching fans in the stomach. I don't know if you've ever seen him. It's brutal.
I would never subject myself to that.
I think he breaks dudes' ribs when he does it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, those shots sound awful. Just fucking yeah. But okay. Would you rather be able to transform like Oolong or like one of the Dragon Ball characters, but every time you do it, somebody random dies, or would you rather be president, but after 3 years you die?
I'm not sure how much I could even change as president under the whole system and electoral things, unless I was a
You get 3 years. You get 3 years to figure that out, and then you go kaput. And your vice will take over for the last year. So.
Yeah, I don't think I could do enough. I don't think I could do enough changes. I don't think the system can be changed.
This is one term, pretty much, man. What do you mean? This is what our country is built on.
Taking the other one.
You're gonna take the transform, but your mom might die when you turn into a dildo for your girlfriend. That's crazy. This one's simpler. Would you rather have super speed or super strength?
Ooh, I'd rather have super speed.
Yeah, I agree. I already got super strength.
Mainly because I'm always fucking. I always have a time issue, and I fucking always been thinking about time and how much time I have and free time and how to enjoy myself. So if I could get around places and do things like that much faster, I can only imagine how much more time I'd have.
Yes, you told me about this earlier. You said that instead of actually doing stuff with your time, you'll sit there for hours and waste time. I can only imagine how fun that would be in super speed.
Oh yeah, I do it like unconsciously. It's like this whole fucking doom scrolling thing. It's like, oh, I get home and it's like, oh, I don't have enough time to actually do something meaningful and get into something, so I'm not even gonna do it. And so I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna sit here scrolling through my TikTok or sit here scrolling for like a 15-minute video to put on, and then it's time to go to bed.
That's when you
Instead of me
masturbate.
just like fucking just throwing something on that I've been planned for a while, like, oh, I fucking heard about this movie, I'm just gonna throw this movie on just cause fucking I've wanted to watch it for a while. I get into this weird fucking doom scrolly thing.
Okay. Would you rather be 6'4" and jacked, but you have the voice of Kamala Harris,
Oh god.
or be filthy rich with the voice of RFK and you have Trump as a roommate?
Mm.
You just live with Trump and you sound like RFK, and you're rich.
Kamala Harris's voice is so fucking annoying, dude. I don't know, man. I couldn't do it. I don't think I could. I'll do it. I'll live with him. And I'll talk like fucking.
RFK sounds fucking
Talk like RFK, cause he got something wrong with his. He got like a neurological disease that fucks with his vocal cord, and makes
It's that
him
worm, bro.
sound like it's straining. Like his
It's that
voice
worm.
sounds strained. Like it sounds like he's been smoking for a while. I was about to say
Okay, I got another one.
6'4" and jack doesn't mean much to me. I guess I wouldn't be considered jacked. I guess I'd be considered like lean muscle, like toned, but I already am kind of muscular, so.
I'm gonna time you later when you do your spiel as well. I want to see how fast you can get that out. I want to see like how long do they get at a debate? They get like a minute.
They get a minute per debate. Like it depends on
per
what
like
it is.
per
It's like
section. I don't know.
it's like you get like, oh, you get 2 minutes for your whatever, and you get 1 minute for your rebuttal, and 30 seconds for your closing statement, or whatever. Blah blah blah.
Sir, your time, your time is up, sir.
And then they're like,
Excuse me.
and then they're
Excuse
like,
me.
no, I was speaking.
No, hey, let me say this. She's a crook. Okay. Would you rather be able to play any instrument perfectly, but never be able to talk again, or have the best singing voice ever, but you're in a wheelchair?
Ooh, I'm going instruments, man. Like I know, like vocals is like my main thing with my music, but I'll switch if I'm able to do instruments, dude. I've always been intrigued in like guitar and bass and shit like that, and drums are cool
Bass
as
is
fuck.
dope. I love a good bass riff.
Dude, I like Flea. Flea's my favorite bassist.
This one's less complicated. Would you rather be turned into a football forever or a car?
Damn. A football. Hopefully,
You'll be
because
getting kicked and
I feel
shit.
like I'd have like, I feel like the impact when you're a football and you hit something, it just you bounce off of it. It's like, ow. You get if you
You're
get
gonna
a
get
bad enough
kicked,
car
though, a
wreck,
whole
you're
lot.
gonna get smashed in.
And then when you go when you're a car and you gotta go to the maintenance, and then you just got all these fucking mechanic hands in you.
Or you could be
Okay.
like my fucking car and get totaled.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I got one more. And you can have these alive or dead. However you like. Would you rather eat 10 crickets with every meal or 5 slugs with every meal?
I'd rather eat 10 crickets, man. I feel like that's
You
easy.
want alive or
I feel
dead?
like it's.
You want juicy ones or dried up ones?
Dried up ones, honestly, yeah. The dried up ones. Even dead
Okay.
snails I couldn't handle. Like, they'd still be slimy or some kind of fucking guts. Like, I mean, the bug guts would go in too, but I feel like it's like the crunch would like hide it a little bit, and you could be like, crunch, crunch, crunch. But the fucking snail, it's just like fucking, and then a big fucking gush. It's like a big gusher.
I was gonna say
It
you
all
could probably
explodes.
swallow a slug whole, but then I'd probably puke it up because of how the texture felt.
That, or you'd fucking choke on the goddamn shell.
The slug doesn't have shells.
Oh, you
The
said
slug.
a slug. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't eat a slug. Ugh.
Don't disrespect slugs, man. But yeah. So you said you had a few things you want to talk about, right? How many topics? I'll give you 90 seconds per topic.
90 seconds I have per topic. I only wanted to talk about
I want to
one.
see you. I thought you said you had like 2 games you want to talk about the anniversaries of, and then some
Oh
politics.
yeah, my bad. I did want to talk about that, and I wanted to
So let's
revise my
start with.
statement. My revisal of my statement from last week is definitely gonna be more than 90 seconds. But
I want to see how fast and concise you can talk. This is part of it.
of course,
Mr. President, Mr. President, you have 90 seconds. Your time starts now.
Fallout New Vegas, October 19th, 2010, is its initial release date. Just had its 14th anniversary not too long ago, almost a month ago. I spent that by playing a lot of it, and I play a lot of it on my free time anyways. Fallout New Vegas is one of my favorite games of all time. Just the freedom it has, everything. It's got everything from the OG Fallouts, the old RPG elements mixed in with the new 3D world that Bethesda brought in. But it's just so much deeper. It's more about your character. You can do anything. It's more about your character's interactions with the world and what happens in the world around it rather than your character's story. And I really like that. And that's what an RPG is supposed to be about. There's so many interesting factions and characters and everything that I can get sucked into. And so many cool mods. And it's such a big reason why I have over 12,000 hours of playtime on Fallout New Vegas on Steam, and one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite games of all time, probably my favorite game ever. Then you got Skyrim, of course. That came out.
Sir, we're starting your time over because this is a new topic, sir. We have to maintain format, sir.
Oh yes.
Yeah, your time may start now, sir. Thank you, sir.
November 11th, 2011, 11/11/11. The Day of Reckoning, the day Skyrim came out, The Elder Scrolls V. So, the 13th episode, 13th fucking anniversary of Skyrim. But it is also like the fucking 7th and the 2nd as well, because the game had a 5-year anniversary edition and a 10-year anniversary edition, because they haven't made the 6th game yet, which is in development right now. I'm very excited for it, but Skyrim is also a game like New Vegas I've played my entire life. I have more hours in Skyrim than I do New Vegas, despite me enjoying New Vegas better and knowing more about Fallout, but I still know a significant amount about Skyrim, and even though it's not as good as Oblivion or Morrowind, its dungeon crawling aspect and like all the world building and lore and how fucking cool the music is, and just all the mods that's in it, and how beautiful, like I said, how beautiful the world is, the soundtrack, just everything makes Skyrim its big amalgamation of like my favorite Elder Scrolls game, even though story-wise it's Morrowind and quest line, like side quest wise it's Oblivion, but I think Skyrim does a lot of things right. And just the nostalgia factor as well, and how easy it is to play.
Sir, you've reached your time limit, sir.
I love it.
Yeah, Skyrim's dope, man. It's definitely a classic game for sure.
It's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I still play it to this day.
Have they released like a real sequel since that one?
No. It's the Elder Scrolls. It's in development right now. They've announced it a couple years ago. Its projected release date is like 2028 or some shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. And this apparently might be the last one for a while at least. He said, it's supposed to have 10 to 15 years of game content. Don't expect another fucking Elder Scrolls for a while. But the last thing I wanted to talk about...
Go ahead and wrap it up with your manifesto there, buddy.
Yeah, I wanted to revise my statement from last time. I felt like I was doing a little more fear-mongering than I was. Project 2025 is something bad. It's something horrible in my opinion. But, I mean, of course, you have people who either just don't take Trump's word for it, or who are taking his word for it and saying he's not involved with it, despite multiple of his former officials and people tied to him coming out and saying it is indeed the plan. And also just the fact that 31 of 38 former members and members a part of their training videos are former Trump staff members and people who have been appointed even to his staff this time around as well. You have Russ Vought, Project 2025. He was a part of Trump's campaign. Not campaign. He was a part of his campaign, but he was also part of his cabinet in his first term, and it also had a lot to do with Project 2025. In a secret undercover video, he was talking about, he said, oh, the president isn't against us. He's doing it for the media, of course, trying to distance himself, but he loves our ideas. And so pretty much him himself in an undercover video, he got caught fucking saying, yeah, Trump fucking is just saying this all on bullshit. And it's like, Project 2025, the thing that's scary about it is it's all legal and everything, and it's not like, I hope I didn't make everyone think that Trump was just gonna fucking day one, boom, it's fucking fascism, take over now. You know what I mean?
Doesn't most of that have to be approved?
Yeah, it has to be congressional. Most bills and laws, like the way bills and laws are approved by Congress, they have to be fucking passed. Obviously, they're talked about. A bill is brought up in the Senate and the House. They vote on it in the Senate. It goes to the House. It passes. Then it goes to President to be signed. Right now, it's majority Republican rule, but there's also fucking executive powers that the president does have, which are unchecked under unitary executive theory in the Articles of Confederation, which people argue how much that actually gives an executive. But Trump argued a lot about it, and he had a lot of executive orders and overdid a lot of what Congress fucking said not. And then he also had a Schedule F appointment, which is a new kind of employment class where the president, basically, all the federal civil employees who are civilians, he can basically take them out and appoint his own people. And it was a projected, supposedly hundreds of thousands of employees were supposed to be fired and replaced with like these Trump MAGA loyalists and shit like that. And it almost happened. Like in 2020, he started the firing process, but Schedule F didn't get like implemented until the very end of his fucking first term. So Biden immediately got rid of that shit. But not saying the Democratic Party is the fucking end-all be-all either, because they're not a working class party either. And I didn't want people to think that either, because I don't think either party is for the people. I think both of them are horrible, and they're both for the capitalist class, because both of them are funded, both their parties are funded by big corporations, of course, and their fucking private media is funded by people who fund them, so of course they get to spin the narrative, there's nothing ever said. And then the Democrats, or the People's Party, they fucking, they talk a big game about love and internationalism and all this bullshit, when it's all their laws have only ever hurt working class people and fucking only ever put up big business people. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Same thing with Republican fucking. But the thing is, people are kind of getting susceptible to that, and they're like, yeah, there's not really much change. So then you have people like Bernie Sanders who try to come into the Democratic Party and try to change it in that way and form, which doesn't fucking work, because they're an establishment rich people's party. They're not gonna they don't even have internal democracy. Bernie Sanders got fucking basically bullshitted out of the nomination twice, so they're not gonna let an actual left. I hate that word left wing anyways, because it's dependent on the country you're in, because left wing could mean socialist, or left wing could mean fucking liberal. But in the socialist sense, if you're more progressive, it's time to exit the Democratic Party, because they're not the party of the people. They're only getting more right-wing, just like the Republican Party is. Except the Republican Party is very out there about it. And they say, what we do is we care about our people. And they blame the shit on the immigrants, of course. But in that, they're like, but once all the immigrants are gone, then your paycheck's gonna go up and all that shit and that shit. So that's how they get the people, is the people aren't actually for immigration or care too much about that. They care about lining their pockets, and they hear all this bullshit, and they're like, oh, this is the enemy, and our American values have been destroyed, and all this shit. And like I said, since the two-party fucking system has pretty much been found out by most people, and it's at a stagnant rate, and most of the left people have stopped voting for the Democratic Party. It's like you got the right-wing people who can get more right-wing and say, look what the Democratic Party has done for you, and they can spread off their whole ideology of supposed non-interventionism. Huh?
You put me to sleep. I don't get a damn word of this shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm speaking in big terms here.
Did you know that the unhealthiest fast food sandwich in the country is the Big Fish sandwich from Burger King?
I'm not surprised. But
what do you have to... I don't know, bro. I'm fucking...
mainly...
You're scaring me now.
Mainly fucking... You got the Republicans who've always been rooted in their views, and now they've started to change the narrative of now we're for the working class people, and what the Democrats have been doing haven't worked. And
they both just try to cover every narrative as hypocritically and fakely as they can, and then contradicting themselves later in each time. Like, there's so many videos of Kamala Harris bullshit and lying about bullshit, photoshopping shit of her as a kid working at McDonald's or whatever.
And then there's people who are like Biden has signed shit to further Trump's border wall construction. He's fucking signed in mass deportation fucking shit. He's kept the kids in cages. He's signed in more military spending, more fucking police spending, everything they said they weren't gonna do. People are more susceptible to this now, and they're realizing that, oh, there is no fucking workers' party. They're both the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But it was a little bit better. Economy was a little bit better under these guys, so we're gonna vote for them. And we're
let the lesson be, children, that if you care enough, like Caleb here does, you will never make it far enough in politics to fucking do anything, because they're just gonna not let you.
Well, that's also not my main goal. Also, in this,
but like, you have the passion to do it, but obviously you don't have like the couth background and the connections and the age and the fucking, you know, all this.
Oh, yeah.
You are volunteering though, right? You did some volunteer stuff, so
yeah, that's at least. I'm not trying to do like anything in the electoral stage, because I think anything electoral, like reform wise, I don't think that could be helped. That's why I'm calling for like all the actual progressive people to exit the Democratic Party, because you can't revolutionize a party and change their fucking core values from within when they don't even have an internal democracy. So that's why I joined Democratic Socialists of America, in hopes that there can be built where fucking people, where we can build numbers and shit, where we do volunteer work and stuff, like go out and do mutual aid and give poor people food and water and shit directly, and also organize, help people who aren't unionized at their workplace, help them understand their rights, help them unionize their workplace and shit like that, like real shit. And then you can get involved in local city council policy shit and petition and fucking get laws changed locally, which is really what you can do if you really want to do shit. And then of course educate the masses, get them class conscious, let them know fucking, hey, the establishment isn't for you and there's something you could do about it. Join the organization. And the whole thing is to revolutionize and start a revolution against the system and bring forth a new system that doesn't serve corporate interests like the Republicans and Democrats have been doing for the past forever, and have a fucking workers' party, a workers' state, like country ran by workers for workers, and actually democratic, of people for people, not just rich people voting for the laws but everybody voting for laws and all that shit. That's basically what I want, but I'm aware it's not an overnight thing. We're not gonna fucking go storm the Capitol, boom, 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 kill everybody. It's like a thing you gotta, because revolution is 100% legal in our Constitution. You have to build the people's fucking awareness and their support, and only when that happens, then a revolution can happen. So it might not even be within my lifetime, or if it is, I'm gonna be an old ass fucking man when it happens. But that's what I'm
Here's
building
my
now. So don't worry, guys. Not much is going to change immediately. Project 2025. There will be another election. I'm not saying fucking fascism is outright there, but Project 2025 definitely lays the groundwork for Republicans to take over the executive branch and have the executive power, the president have power over Congress and all of that. So even and him so basically he's going to apparently try to get Schedule F appointment back in, which he did in his first term, and with an all Republican Congress, he's most likely going to get that back in. He's going to replace hundreds of thousands of federal employees with Trump and Republican MAGA people, and since they're appointed, it's probably going to be a life appointment. So even if a Democratic president gets voted in, you know, the Democratic president always follows corporate interests anyways, and all that, but of course they have to have some, like, you know, some DEI or like minority protections a little bit, even at the minute, just to fucking keep a semblance of they're the People's Party. But now they won't even be able to do that, and it'll just be seen as Democratic presidents are incompetent, but that's only because of the fucking appointments that everyone in the Republican Party is just appointed to everywhere federal, and that would also make the FBI, the Department of Justice, and everything accountable to the president. And then if there was a Democratic president, then all those advisors would just say no and fucking go with their own shit. And just,
well, that's what I think they do
normally. So that's why I'm saying it's like fascist and shit. It's not like Trump's not trying to become dictator for life. It's more like the Republican Party is going to lay the groundwork to basically control the White House and that executive part for the rest of almost time, basically.
Honestly, I can't even be bothered to think about it because I don't trust that the system is how you have studied it to be anyway. I think there's probably much more behind the scenes fucking corrupt bullshit that is fucking fairly common that we don't even have any clue about, and so I'm not even going to be worried. I 100%
agree. There's definitely some stuff behind the scenes that I don't know either.
That's why I don't even worry about it, because I think it's such a level where it's like, unless you get your revolution, not much is going to change, and you're never going to hear someone like you talking like this in the actual office. So it's just like, I hope you get your revolution, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's the whole thing, is just
wrapping it up,
building a movement. Don't worry, that was all I had to say. That was my thing. I wanted to alleviate fears because I thought I was doing a little fear mongering and explain my positioning and my positions better. And
you definitely explain.
If y'all are like me and y'all are tired of not having, of the system being bullshit and y'all not having a workers' party, and even though it might discourage you with me saying that revolution is not soon and it takes time and you have to build people, do not fear, do not get complacent, do not be sad. You can still change local stuff. You can get involved in local elections. You can change local policies. You can get involved in school board, change shit locally, make things easier. Always do direct action and do mutual aid. Fucking give poor people food, water, help your community, help the workers unionize against the corporate fucking people so they have a union and they could get more benefits and shit. And that's all.
Do not help this. Don't help poor people. They get helped enough. They probably get helped more than you do. It's actually insane. That's part of the government too, by the way. I know that much about the damn government. Those poor people sure get some shit. They don't need your fucking food too. They get food from everybody. I promise.
I'm talking about working class people.
You said poor.
Poor people are working class people. There's only they're trying to create they only want two classes of people. They're trying to only create two classes. There's the renting / proletariat class who sells their labor for wage money that is actually not close to what they actually fucking bring in their work and value, and then 80% of it goes to the owning class. So there's only I only see rich and poor. There's only owning class and there's working class. That's the only thing I see.
All I know is I bought my friend a Trump birthday gift card where he's like, I hear a great man had a birthday recently. And I'm really glad that he won because if he didn't win, it would look stupid because it's in the White House. So that's all I have to say before I get out of here. I'm going to go spend the rest of my night watching Dragon Ball.
I'm going to spend the rest of my night probably fucking, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna play
reading on checks and balances and the tariffs and the fucking what's going on with the border and
no, I listen to that shit at
Trump
work.
Hair still glued on.
I listen to that shit at work. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have those podcast, like I have like political podcasts and like YouTube videos on YouTube Premium on and shit.
When we get out of here, text me and remind me to send you my buddy who I used to train with. He has a political podcast. I can't fucking stand it because it's politics, but you would probably be like, "Oh, he's spitting right now."
Bet.
I don't know.
I'm a fucking. I will check that out 100%. But
yo, bro, listen to this real quick. This is breaking news.
Holy shit.
So the gloves that were invented by the UFC recently to stop eye pokes and prevent and like, you know, the new UFC gloves that they made, right? You remember that a few months ago? That dropped.
The new golden looking ones.
That and just in general, the model was replaced though. They were supposed to change eye pokes, and it's caused like more cuts now. It's been weird, but it was supposed to stop eye pokes, and as of now, they will not be using the new gloves, and they will be returning to the old gloves for the John Jones card. So prepare for Stipe to leave there fucking blind. That's all I'm saying.
Woo! Stipe's gonna have no eyeballs!
But yeah, that's all I got.
Stipe's eyeballs are gonna be done.
Yeah, Stipe called him a bitch, kind of, and now John is like, I'm gonna rip your eyeballs out.
That's all I had to as well. Pretty much. Get organized if you're like me and you actually care. Of course, if you don't, just keep on doing you. Do your shit. You know what I mean. And don't go out there and poke people's eyes. See you all in episode 43.